who do you really want to be? Is it possible to wake up every morning and say, I'm so glad I'm doing this, so glad I'm this person? Of course it's possible. The truth is, we have no idea what we're capable of or who we can become. Everyone feels the pressure to succeed, and we all have moments when we feel terrible about ourselves. But even amidst these emotions, we can research ways to keep going and become better. Sometimes we lose our direction, go off track, feel angry at ourselves, and doubt our abilities. However, what we truly need, the thing that will keep us on track and set us apart, is our inner motivation. It's not about what you wear, what you own, or where you live. It's about your attitude, your mindset, and how you make others feel. There's a gap between where we are now and the person we want to become. The key is deciding how to bridge that gap. Once we make that decision, our attitudes change, our behaviors shift, and the questions we ask ourselves evolve. Our identity begins to align with how we dress, speak, and carry ourselves. The people and environments we surround ourselves with start to change as well. At that point, we've undergone a profound transformation. Anything less makes real change almost impossible. But how do we figure out who we are and stay consistent on this journey? This is where we need to ask ourselves one fundamental question. Are you ready? Here's the question. Where are your money and time going? Our brain naturally seeks comfort and prefers to keep us on familiar tracks. Why? Because every new thing requires effort. To conserve energy, our brain tries to keep us trapped in the cycle of old habits, discouraging us from trying new things. That's why one of the best starting points is to ask ourselves and notice where our resources, both time and money, are being spent. Take a moment to make a list. Look at your bank statements. In this system we live in, where is your money going? Where is your time being spent? When we observe successful people in the world, one thing becomes clear. They continually educate themselves. What they watch, listen to, and invest in reflects a commitment to personal growth. But what about us? Are we consuming programs that cloud our minds and waste our energy, or are we engaging with content that helps us grow? When we examine the lives of accomplished individuals, we see that they allocate their time and money toward things that enhance their knowledge and skills. They make conscious choices, whether it's about the shows they watch, the books they read, or the podcasts they listen to. They invest in filling the gap between who they are and who they want to become. This brings us to the first question. Where are your time and money going? Let's reflect on this. The second question is this. What are you chasing in life right now? Is it a job, an exam, a relationship, a house, or something else? Is this truly something you want? Or is it something others expect from you? Are you pursuing it because someone else demands it of you, or because it aligns with your own desires? We must clearly distinguish between what we truly want and what's imposed on us. Maybe you're chasing something just because a friend has it, or because a family member told you that you should. These external pressures often mislead us. You believe you have no other choice. It has to be this way. To avoid feeling inadequate, to avoid failure, rejection, or not being accepted, you do it. Now let's talk about our heroes. When we're little, we learn everything from them. Up until the age of 3, we keep asking, what's this? What's that? They explain everything to us because they're the adults who've been on this planet longer than us. They are our heroes. But as we grow older, we start asking questions that go beyond their understanding, questions outside the box. When you ask, what's this, and they don't know the answer, their typical response might be, stop asking stupid questions. They'll tell you, be like everyone else, don't question, don't explore, don't get excited, don't be curious. At this point, we stop exploring ourselves. To maintain their approval, avoid rejection, and be accepted, we conform to their paths, their lives, and their truths. When they tell you, you can't do this, it's not about your abilities, it's about their limitations. It's because those aha moments you experience don't exist for them. And so we abandon ourselves. Yet the most important thing on this planet is staying true to yourself. Sure, your day might start horribly, but transforming that day is in your hands. Here's what I do. I hit the reset button. We all have those days when everything seems to go wrong, but we can start over. Maybe you were born into a terrible environment. Maybe your financial situation is dire, but it doesn't have to stay that way. You can transform your day just as you can transform your life. To achieve a better standard of living, you can decide what sacrifices you're willing to make. You can challenge yourself and ask, do I truly love this? Does this excite me? To explore these alternatives, you need to invest in yourself. Ask yourself 3 critical questions. Do you still want to pursue what you're chasing? To answer this, you need to assess your motivation. What kind of change will pursuing this create in you? What kind of transformation will it bring? What are your values and who do you want to become? To uncover your truth, you first need to understand yourself. What are your core values? What identity do you want to embrace? What are the gaps between who you are now and who you want to become? What steps must you take to bridge that gap? Create a list of all the things you need to complete. Identify the actions you must take to reach your goals. And most importantly, the desire to pursue those goals must come from a place of genuine passion and fire within you. You must be willing to examine, prioritize, and act with determination. Staying true to your vision is the only way to create the transformation you seek. Or are you doing this for others? If you're doing it for others, it's like trying to turn a mill with borrowed water. It's bound to fail eventually. That's why one of the most important things in this world is to stay true to your own talents and depth. By investing in yourself, you can take action to do better, not only for yourself, but also for those you love and for this planet. You're not defined by the mistakes you've made. You don't have to be the person shaped by the life you've lived so far. It's crucial to recognize this, but somehow, when we're labeled, we continue to carry those labels, believing we can't change them. At this point, it's clear that we often have no idea who we truly are. We underestimate ourselves, believing we are less capable than we actually are. But the truth is, we are incredibly powerful beings. Not only can we transform ourselves, but we also have the ability to change the world around us. When you know who you are, you act in a way that honors that identity. To grow into the person who fits that label, you need to put in the effort to improve yourself. And that effort only comes through motivation and discipline. Becoming someone entirely new, or shedding an old label, requires intentional action and change. Yet we tend to repeat the same habits and routines, circling back to the same points over and over again. Have you noticed? You keep experiencing the same things with your friends, your family, at school, or at work. You find yourself in similar relationships, reacting the same way, looking for the same responses, and you keep saying, "Why does this keep happening to me? Why am I always dealing with this?" This cycle is trying to tell you something. It's a reflection of your uncertainty about who you are. It's why you keep facing the same challenges, like repeating the same exam over and over again. If you're tired of this cycle, it's time to turn inward. You need to clear and nurture your own garden. This happens to all of us. And at some point, we stop and say, "Wait a minute, I want to change this. I don't want to live like this anymore. I'm not going to experience this again." The moment you say this, you've already raised your standards. You start living in alignment with those new standards and making choices that reflect them. And that's when your life begins to change. That's when you have the chance to discover who you truly are.